the last couple of months, I've noticed that I've seen a lot of photographers, specifically Muhammad, who's actually from my home state of Massachusetts. I forgot where Muhammad, where you're from, Muhammad, specifically what town. But you're definitely in state. And Muhammad's put a few pictures up of just like miniature type setups. And I really like those. But I think I after have worked, I've worked on a couple of mini-made styles, and I don't like working in that scale. So I would stay away from working on anything even smaller than that. A few years ago, we had this toy drive that happens at my part-time job, and part of that toy drive, or we used to, it doesn't exist anymore. So part of that toy drive is in order to get into the event. It's usually it's an open bar. There's bands playing. I work at it's a venue in the south end of Boston, and we have the capacity is 445 people. We have rock concerts, we have annual meetings, we have Sweet 15s and 16s and weddings and all that. So we also have a toy drive that happens, or used to happen, every year. So one particular year, after the toy drive was over, we had stored the toys away in a storage facility, our storage facility, and then it got run over by rats. And then they decided to pee all over everything. So we just had to basically dump almost everything. Part of what we dumped was it's a set. It's by a company. I think it's Children's Museum, and they do these little miniature sets. So what you do is, you put it together, and then you put like those walls, and it comes with doors and a whole bunch of other stuff. So the box got ruined by the rats, but the contents inside didn't. So I grabbed it before they threw it away. And in grabbing it, the first thing I thought was to try to just sell it. I try to put it out there to the mini-made mob, because it may be mini-made scale. Now that I'm looking at it, maybe not. But, no one bid on it. No one wanted to buy it. I think I was trying to sell it for like 20 bucks, something like that. So no one wanted to grab it. So I kept it for a long time. So recently I saw it again, and I was like, you know what? Muhammad's been doing the miniature scenes. This is a great construction site type look. So let me see what I can do. These little guys right here, they came from like a gumball machine some years ago, and so they came in a ball, like in a ball, and inside the ball was these little Marvel characters, little Marvel heroes or what have you. So I had got, I got a few. I think I got Hulk, Wolverine, I got that Iron Man, and I got this Spidey and this Spidey. So they all come with bases, so I kind of chopped the bases off. So originally what I did is I decided to use these as action figures for the action figures. So I had set some scenes up that way in the past. But I thought this was these were great to use for this type of display. So I had recently purchased Iron Man, and I purchased him through ToysRUs.com. I was waiting for him to arrive. Once he arrived, it was on. So this is the setup for the picture I just posted in the ACBA page, and as well as my Instagram. The difficulty of this, man, and it was a pain in the ass. So Iron Man, that's a glue gun. So what I did is I just put some parchment paper down and drew essentially a straight line with the glue gun, wait for it to dry, and then I painted it yellow with some red highlights. I did the same thing for kind of that splash on his hand. And then I had to use wax. I had to use wax to keep him on there. And yo, he kept falling, and it was a pain. I was at this for like 2-3 hours last night. It was crazy. I think I went to sleep at almost 2 in the morning. And then I took a picture, posted it, and noticed that there was way too many shadows on that yellow, because the yellow paper was up against the construction site. So I had to, at like 3 in the morning, my phone was almost dead. So I get up at 3 in the morning, come back to it and take more pictures. It was crazy. So anyway, because I knew in the daytime the pictures aren't going to come out as good as the nighttime, and I may not have time to do it tonight. So I did it last night in the middle of the night. But I liked the pictures that I took, posted them. So wanted to give you guys a background. But man, anytime, and I've said this before, anytime you're setting up these shots, it is a lot of work. I mean, here's my paints for painting, the beam that's coming from Iron Man's hands, the glue gun, and some more yellow foam paper and just the cutouts, and this is the sand that I got from actually my girlfriend's driveway. There's some construction on it, so I grabbed some sand and had to throw the sand on there, and that's a piece of paper. So I didn't, because usually construction sites, this is a little flatter. And yeah, and then threw in some weeds using this stuff. Alright, so just wanted to share this with you guys. And if you have any other questions about it, just feel free to leave them in the comments below. And I'm out. Peace. What's up, everybody? A couple days ago, I had the need to pull out this Daredevil. This Daredevil was a custom Daredevil created for me by Mr. Aaron Williams for last year's tournament. And I used this in my third or my second, my first, I don't even remember, one of my displays. Definitely not my third. Maybe my second. But anyway, and I just feel like I don't take advantage of this action figure. It's a dope figure. It's Daredevil beat up pretty much. So I was like, yo, I want to take, I had just gotten into a trade with my homie Miguel Hernandez, and I gave him 2 red ninjas. He gave me 2 white ninjas, so now I have 4 of the white hand ninjas. And I wanted to put him up against Daredevil. Unfortunately, with this particular pose or this scene, you can't tell that Daredevil's beat up, as most of his injuries are towards the front of his body. But either way, what it did is that it gave me the opportunity to finally use some of these flight stands that Michael Wisman had created for me a few months back. And I never really even took them out of the package, honestly. And so what I did is they were all the same size, and I actually clipped them. So some were, that was the tallest one, and then that was the shortest one, and then I kind of made it 3 different sizes and started to pose these ninjas. Now, these ninjas are not easy to pose. One of the reasons they're not easy to pose is because of the skirt, kind of the skirt there. So I actually had to lift the skirt. You can see it there. And I also had to lift the skirt over here, which works because they're coming, coming down on him, so you can see how the wind would bring those up a little bit. The difficulty with a shot like this is for it to make sense, and honestly it doesn't make total sense, and I'll tell you why. Where they're coming from just may not have been enough space really for them to jump this high, or for them to have I could be wrong, maybe, who knows. Human beings are pretty amazing, especially ninjas. But yeah, so the idea here was, I think I ended up taking the shot something like this, right? So that cross hid that flight stand. So then I put this guy here to hide, so that guy hid his flight stand. And then this guy's flight stand hit it with that cross laying down. So a lot of times when you're creating these type of shots where you're using the flight stands, one of the biggest things is to conceal them. You want to give the illusion that these action figures are actually jumping up in midair and coming down to attack Daredevil. And again, it could be challenging, and it's about trying to learn how to make it work. Photography, photographers forever have been using different tricks, and this is just another way of using a trick where, again, you're hiding the stands, and it definitely gives it a really good look. What I did with the pictures, actually, I took it at an angle and I set up the lights in a way where you couldn't see up there. It was a little more dark. I was happy with it. I was happy with the shot. I thought it came out pretty good, and I was happy with some of the poses on these ninjas. I really like the way this guy is posed. And using the flight stands, honestly, wasn't as difficult as I thought it was going to be. Definitely a little challenging. You have to take your time and be patient with it and try to find that kind of that middle point, that balance point. And so I was able to balance. I think 2 of them are balanced, and then one of them, I kind of bent the flight stand a little bit at the top, and I kind of tucked it into, I don't remember which one, but I kind of tucked it into underneath his belt. So there's 2 that are definitely balanced, and one that is being kind of hooked in, and this guy's just standing. And yeah, so I decided to put the pew at that angle so it wouldn't show the flight stands. And yeah, that was a shot. If I could do the shot again, I would actually kind of take it like that and shine some light in that back window. That might have looked good too. I also just wanted to share, and at the end of the day, and let me just take some shots from behind so you guys have an idea. But at the end of the day, it's all about improving. You know, we always say in ACBA, you know, keep grinding, and basically that's just keep practicing, keep practicing, keep practicing. That's all you can do. And actually, to be honest with you, this shot, the way Daredevil is posed, it's a shot from the internet. I just put something like ninjas attacking, and so in that shot, in that image that I got, Daredevil was, you know, the main person was posed just as Daredevil, and two out of the four ninjas were posed. 3 out of the 4 ninjas, the pose came from that image as well. So a lot of times, don't be afraid to look at images and try to emulate them. They're just gonna help you to be a better poser. Alright, y'all, and I'm out. Peace. Alright, y'all, so this will be the last segment for this video, and I wanted to just share the ideas that I had, or the idea that I had in putting this together. So recently I created I think it's the first segment of this video, where it was the Giant Man, and I had created using the glue gun, kind of that beam coming out of little mini Iron Man's hand, and then kind of hitting Giant Man in the arm. So I kind of just took the same concept, except this time what I did is I took parchment paper and I kind of put it over Deadpool's face, and then just glue gunned around it, so that when I dried up, I'm able to just kind of place the webbing or the glue gun on his face, and it'll kind of have a good fit to it. Then I went and painted it white. This spiderweb here, coming from Scarlet Spider's arm, was created by Mr. Michael Wisman. I think I've mentioned him a few times in this video, in this episode. He created those, and he actually told me that they still needed to get black and gray washed to kind of give it that comic book feel. I didn't do it. I need to do it. I just wanted to kind of get the shot together, and I had the idea of putting that wrapped around Deadpool's face. That's a cutout that, as you can see, look at that cutout. That cutout was sent to me whole by Michael, and you know, so it wasn't cut out, it was just you know, then I had to cut it out, and you can tell that my skills are not nearly as good as Mike's. So but it was perfect because I had it in there, and that's the word bubble that Deadpool would use. In this case, what I had to do was take this dial. I've used it a couple of times, and usually the walls kind of go right there, trapped between these two, so I just put one back there. I had to put that one between the poster board, because when I took the picture, you can see the desk. You can kind of see that desk, and it didn't look good. So place that there, and I think I ended up taking the picture. I just posted on the ACBA page, and it looks something like this or something like that. I actually posted this same picture on Instagram a couple days ago, but it wasn't as good as this one in terms of the light in the back. So I had to use that second light to hit the poster board to give that effect, and I had to also put the poster board at a distance away from the dial to also kind of get that effect. So this is the second picture I took. The first one I put on Instagram, and I didn't want to put on ACBA just because it wasn't an ACBA ready pick, in my opinion. Changed the pose on this guy a little bit. Had to kind of put that there to keep him in place. He kept falling, and because I was only going to use that much, that was cool. Deadpool's nothing underneath his feet. He's just balanced on that barrel behind him, and he has a gun, and well, he got shot in the face, so his first reaction is to try to rip off the webbing, so I put his hand up there. Yeah, so just another behind the scenes, putting a shot together, and wanted to share that with you guys. And I am out. Peace.